Hey guys, so we're right here chilling. We're not really doing I'm not really doing much of anything today. I woke up real horny, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, we're in this bitch. I made me a hot brew. It's like a cold brew, but it's really fucking hot. Guys, I'm just gonna be fucking honest. I hate my life, guys. I want to kill myself. No, I don't. Yeah, yes, I do. But we're chilling though. We're right here. We're not doing shit. You feel me? Like if we really wanted to die, we would have killed ourselves a long time ago. But speaking about death, death has been on my mind recently. It's something that I've been questioning again. Not because death is this scary thing, this abnormal thing that we all are so like wired to be um aware of. It's more like I'm trying to figure out why death. I'll be honestly, I know why death for me has become such a monotonous thing that it's become very ingrained into my own being, right? Because death for me is very symbolic. Death for me represents a lot of things. It doesn't just mean leaving the physical body, going on to the astral plane, and not being here no more. I don't think that's what death is. I don't think what is death? When we start to look at nature and we actually start to ask the question of what death is, what is death? Is death us just not being here? Is death the progression, regression, and think about it like this, right? This is life. This is death. They both coincide because they both need each other to exist. Without life, there wouldn't be any death. Without death, there wouldn't be any life, right? So, I guess what I'm trying to say is if us as humans are wired to die, why is it that we are wired to die? I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It's just I've just been nonstop thinking about it for a little bit now, and it's just been more. I was gonna say confusing, but confusing isn't the right word to use for this situation. It's for like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to talk about? I don't know, death. When people talk about death, what is it that people mean when they talk about death? What has people interested in death? What has me interested in death? Well, I think the coolest part about death, right, is the way that it's represented. Right, it's really funny that we all have this knowing that death is cold, that death is. I was going to say heartless, but it's more like it's death is very merciful, right, in its own paradoxical way. Because for a lot of people are. Think about it like this, right? Everybody on Earth suffers, and everybody in this world will have to go through struggles in order to figure out who they are, right? And the only reason we struggle is because, I mean, at least in my opinion, right? Because this is a pure projection on my part from anything. But when we actually stop to think about why we struggle, why is it that we struggle? Like, for example, for me, I struggle with the ideas I have in my head. Because in my head, I should be doing everything I say I should be doing, right? But then I get upset when I don't do it. So it's like, are you getting upset because you're not doing it? Are you getting upset because you're thinking about it and you're not doing it? Or is it just the little phase in between of your actions catching up to your thoughts, right? So that's what something I've been telling myself recently is you need to learn to trust the process, right? And what do I mean by trusting the process? Because well, what is the process? Jay, what's the process that you're talking about? What process am I talking about? I'm talking about the process of being and unfolding, right? And that's why death is very symbolic to me because if we really think about it, we gave death the name death because it's the end of a phase, it's the end of a cycle, right? So death doesn't necessarily mean when we're not here anymore, when we're not present in the three-dimensional world, when our consciousness is not projecting through the senses, right? So death can imply a lot of things. Death could be the end of a book. Death could be the end of an art project. Death could be the starting of a new tradition, of a new habit, right? Because then life starts again. Life starts again. And I think that's very important to remember, because with death, we can apply it to everything else we do, and we will start to see the patterns of, hey, I don't need to worry. And this isn't to be like, because I know on the internet there's a lot of fucking, what's the word, a lot of gaslighting, right? Like I'm so fucking sick and tired of sitting on my computer and hearing everything's going to be okay. You are in fact right, right? Everything is going to be okay, but you need to genuinely believe that, right? And the thing about online is that the more we separate ourselves from reality, right? And what is reality in this context? Reality in this context would be what you believe to be true. That's your reality, right? And what are the things that we all believe to be true? It's the things that you see. It's the things that you take, and it's the things that you hold on to, right? This in itself is the as is. I was going to say it's like the shadow self, like it's the self of it's the you that's constantly unfolding. Okay, here I'm gonna go take a little smoke break, and I'm gonna be right back. Here, I didn't want to fucking bore y'all with the. I didn't want to bore y'all with the fucking. What's this shit called? Here, how much is it back? Alright, guys, I'm back. I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about death. Death. Very interesting, right? So I started watching gore videos when I was very, very young. And I started watching them because I remember my dad told me that he watched one and it like gave him like a heart attack. Ever since then, I just been interested about it because I was like, damn, this made my pops freak out. Let me check it out. I don't know what the fuck I don't know why my mindset was that, but it was right. And I looked at it. I've been stopping lately because of that whole Dave shit. Because bro, when I tell you that society is a mirror to your deepest self, it really is. Like, let's actually talk about that because it's crazy to me that all the warning signs can be in front of you. They can be there for you, especially in artists, because a lot of the time art is just the expression of the subconscious self, right? So for instance, X, right? X was somebody that was making a lot of really, really, really dark music when he was first starting up, right? But I think because of the way things played out for him, actually, nah, what am I trying to say? Okay, what I guess what I'm trying to say is that music in itself isn't music in itself. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? What connection was I trying to make with them? So X and Dave, they both make dark music. Dark music. They've both done terrible shit in their lives, right? Right. We all have. We're all guilty of being human beings. We're all guilty of being fucking just horrible pieces of shit sometimes. But I think sometimes it's the hardest thing to do in this world. I swear to God, just from experience, it's like being able to forgive yourself. Because being able to forgive yourself is a skill, bro. That shit takes work. That shit takes time. It's like you got it. It's like you're building up trust with yourself. It's like, bro, this shit is so. That should be crazy as hell. Because it's like, it is me. I should be able to trust me. But it's like, who is me? Who am I? Like, well, what aspect of myself am I trying to be? Like, who am I today? Why did I decide to turn this camera on and this microphone on? Why did I actually go through the effort of doing it when I was just daunting doing it yesterday? You feel me? Like, why do we do the things that we do? Is it because this is my authentic self? This is my truest expression? Is this who I really am? And it makes you think. Is it? So, with quantum theory, oh yeah, I'm cheating on the game, by the way. I hope y'all know that. Look at this shit. Look at this shit real quick. All right, whatever. Look at this shit real quick. Brrr. Ah, okay. Yeah, that happens because it be glitching out. I don't know what the fuck be happening with it, but yeah, I'm cheating on this game, guys. I hope y'all don't mind. Yeah, straight up cheater. Uh, hey, 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 hey. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Let me not apologize. I'm cheating on this game. I'm not gonna lie. Who fucking cares? It's a game. I'm sorry if I'm ruining your fun. I'm sorry if I killed the mood. I'm sorry if you're mad at me for cheating on the game. Like I don't fucking care. This shit is like I'm pretty sure this is I mean I'm in the tournament. That's why I'm saying it because I'm like I'm being a bitch. I know I'm being a bitch. I know this nigga probably working his ass off, and I'm over here being a bitch. Crafting power, 49 artifacts. This nigga just like me, kind of. Oh no, not really. I mean, nah, yeah, kind of. We're pretty similar. We're pretty close. But yes, I am cheating. I am using an auto clicker for this shit. That's why you see all those numbers right there. Cause That's the damage I'm doing, and that's all the I'm cheating. I'm cheating like a bitch, and I'm still not doing all that. What you can't see me pointing at this shit. What the fuck? As you can see, the fucking damage over here. I'm not doing that good, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun to cheat on games. How do I say this? That don't require skill. I don't know if this game. Okay, look, I'm pretty sure this is a game that might be confusing at first because there's a lot of shit going on, but it all adds up. And I played this game when I was really little. Like I played the first one. This is Tap Titans 2. I remember playing the first one when it had came out. Man, gotcha games used. Man, gotcha games had my life, bro. They got me. Gotcha games, they had me. Man, fucking gotcha games, bro. I love gotcha games. Sorry, guys. Because these games just be fun, bro. It's just a fun little progression that you do whenever you're bored, whenever you're trying to have a chill day. Just relax. Huh. Yeah, I guess this was. Yeah, probably the reason I love these games so much is because of that aspect alone. Because I would get home from school, and instead of spiraling, I would just get on like Dokkan and just grind that shit out and just have fun because I love Dragon Ball. Yeah, that shit would be decent. Coming home after school, after them fucking bogus ass days in school. Man, I don't know how school was for y'all, but school was very fucking gay, bro. And I don't mean gay homosexually. I mean gay as in that shit was just fucking. I mean it wasn't that bad. No, I'm trying to make it seem like it was the worst thing in my life. Like no, high school was pretty fun. It wasn't bad. I had fun with my friends. Man, I guess I'm just remembering both. I'm like remembering both. I guess it wasn't that bad. Shit just be how it be. Damn, bro, am I stuck? Hmm. I don't know what to do. I've been getting stuck like that. No, I don't have that many. Hmm. All right. Oh, okay. I'm at the highest right now that I've been. All right. Let me cancel you. What the fuck? All right. Sorry, guys. I just be remembering shit. All right, guys. So let's so what were we talking about? We were talking about something. We were talking about something. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about, but we have to remember about something because if we don't remember about what we were talking about, then what the fuck are we gonna talk about? When we talk about what we talk about. Bro, I just spilled coffee. Oh, quantum theory. We're using. Okay, think about it like this, right? So all the time we're becoming constantly. This very moment, you watching this, for some reason, you were drawn to this, right? For some reason, you're here. For some reason, you're listening to whatever I'm talking about. Now, it's important to remember that everything everyone says, every person has a very unique experience to this world. I know it's very cliche. I know it sounds very like duh nigga, like yeah, but it's very important to remember what that actually means, right? Because it doesn't mean just slight coincidences. Although it's very paradoxical because it really does seem that it does really look like we all have bottom line the same personality. How do I explain that? The same, there's like this core of humanity that everybody has. I believe so anyways. That the only reason I feel like the core of humans, right, is love, fear, love, fear, strength, and attachment. Because through our strengths, we've been able to grow, through our love for just wanting to live and for the world. I feel like we've been able to advance to where we are now, even though it kind of looks like we lose sight of that aspect of ourselves over just greed and power. But that's been a constant cycle in human history for the longest part. We're just unfortunately still falling into that and playing into that. But I do really think that we, as a human beings, right, as individuals, we all have to live through times like this, because times like this is what make the people that are going to not excel or be great, but the people that are going to advance the world, the people that are actually going to take the steps to make the world a better place. Because people can only tolerate unfair treatment for so long. It's like in so many different aspects too, like, and not to be ungrateful, because it's not like it's all bad, very obviously, right? Because there's a lot of people still living very comfortably. I feel like the problem is that people want to live to other people's expectations rather than their own actual expectations of the real world. Let's actually be honest. Like, if you stop and look at your whatever situation you're in, it could always be fucking worse. And believe me when I say that, because it seems to always be like that. But it's always going to be like that if that's how you're always looking at it. If you're looking at it through the lens of it being bad, and you're not changing your fucking glasses out, bro, like for some sunglasses that'll give you a little bit of clarity in all that fucking light. Like, you just gotta be careful. Honestly, it's what I feel like. It's cause, man, I forgot what the fuck we were talking. Man, what the fuck were we talking? I'm still stuck on the stage, bro. Man, I think it's just time to prestige. Yeah, I spent way too much time on that one too. We only went up a little bit. I gotta think this through. We can afford another one. Um. Okay. Okay. Fear. Okay. Okay. Fear. Fear keeps us from doing stupid shit, right? Fear, when it's utilized as an observation, is very, very informative about where you're standing on certain things, right? Because certain things are gonna, if you fear something, take that into account, right? If it's if it you fear if you like for example, if you fear something that isn't going to immediately kill you, why not go for it, right? Why not get over that fear, knowing that it's just like, hey, I know I'm scared to do this, so maybe I should try doing it, And it's really funny because when you go to do something you don't want to do, you usually don't have to do it, right? It's effortless. It doesn't. It's not that big of a deal. It just be those little small things. Yeah, I mean that's how I see it. That's how I've been trying to see. That's where I've been like trying to be a little bit more consistent in with myself too. Damn, I got a lot of these hoes. Oh look, I want to see how this shit looks when you're like running through it. I need to get back to 600, 700, and like I need to get to 7,400, and I'm at 6,523. All right, bet. Right now, I'm running this build. I'm running like this hybrid build. I was playing this event the other day. And I had all of this and this and all of this on it. So I'm trying to recreate that because that was flying me. That was flying through the fucking rounds. That shit was decent. So I'm trying to recreate it here. But yeah. And then what else did I say? I don't know. Okay, let's talk about consciousness. Well, what are we? What are we actually? Because I don't know. Through meditating, I've been able to experience like myself out my body. I try to actual project. I don't think I've actually. I probably done it a couple times, but I don't think I can like sit. I need to learn how to do it. But that shit, it's crazy because if our minds can do that, what else can we do that we just don't know because we don't try? You know, like that shit's very interesting. That's the type of shit people. That's the type of shit I'm gonna be testing, man. But because we know the way we look now is just the manifestation of our old thoughts. You know, because you passively become what you think. And it's really funny that I use that word because think about it like a passive in a video game. Like the more you consistently think about that you have like feelings towards, or an idea that you build an emotional connection to, like you subconsciously start to do it over time. That's why it's really important what you put your attention to because your subconscious will start to do it, start to look for ways to do it that feel effortless. And that shit's decent. That shit's fun when it happens. That's why it's like that's kind of what I meant by trusting the process earlier and being able to just be still and understand that everything's unfolding the way it's supposed to. because it's the way that you're like leading yourself in, you know? And the quantum thing comes in handy there because if you know that's what you're going to be, because that's what you're thinking now, and you know you're going to think that tomorrow and the day after that, and so forth and so on, then really you are that person now. You get me? You're just moving towards that expression. But that doesn't mean that you're not already the thing that you want to be. Because time isn't even okay, look, time exists as a variable because it's observable by the eyes, right? And but what if time isn't as linear as people think it is, right? Because you're able to think about the past, right? And you're able to experience it in your mind. Now that might sound like, hey, yeah, because you're looking at the memory. No, you're not looking at the memory. You're recreating the memory in your head. That's what you're fucking doing, right? Yeah, you store the memory. You have the memory in your head. That's why you're able to remember it. But if you're looking at it, if you're seeing it, if you're imagining it in your head, you really are time traveling back in time. Who's to say you're not actually doing that, right? Because how else would you look at that? Where else would that be? You're creating it. You're stepping foot in it. You're like becoming one with and being there when you're not even there. Where do you go? You're in your head or are you in your mind? I don't know. What are you doing? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, now think about. Okay, now when we sleep, our mind stays active, right? So our body's the only. So our body's resting, not ourselves, but our body is. Our body gets. Our body's like a. It's like a cell phone, right? Our bodies are like cell phones, and sleeping is recharging. But we're infinite. You get me? Because you're not even tired. If your body if your body didn't get tired, you wouldn't get tired. You might get mentally tired and need to like relax and put your attention on something else. But I feel like that's a little different. God fucking damn it, bro. See what I mean? Like this shit just breaks. Hmm. Fucking horror, bro. Hmm. So that whole becoming part of ourselves is always continuing. You get me? Because now that you let's say you want to think about being more consistent with the bass, right? So you play the bass for 5 minutes. You just try it out. You don't look anything up on YouTube. You don't try to learn the song. You just go at it naked as fuck, and you just try doing something with it, anything with it. No, that goes with anything. Let's say you want to work out. Okay, okay, okay. Let's say you're very new at working out. Okay, see if you can do a push up. See how many squats you can do. You know, take 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Start slow. Why not? That's better than giving it an hour, hating it, down, not wanting to do it tomorrow, already being in your bed hating it. It's like do a little bit, do a little bit. Like just yesterday, I was trying to get back into making beats because it's been a while since I made beats, right? And I'm getting super fucking frustrated because it's like, nigga, I can hear what the fuck I want to, I can hear what I want to make in my head, and I can't fucking make it because I lack the skills, right? It's like, hey, you're going to get there. You just got to take it slow. You got to be patient with yourself. You're just trying to learn how to make your own music, right? So why you rush it? You gotta be present enough to remember that true because all I'm after is true self-expression, right? As an artist, that's all I'm after. It's just the ability to express myself as I feel towards myself. You know, being able to be honest with myself, being able to be honest with others, being able to be who I am without the tension in between who I think I should be for people. When in reality, all I'm trying to be is the person I want to be. And that's a paradigm shift. So that's something that I'm moving. That's something that I'm actively moving towards. Even just talking about it now, because we're giving it energy talking about it now. We're giving it attention. We're giving it a place to go. We're giving it a direction, and we're giving it emotion towards it. Right? At least I am. That's how I feel about it. I feel very passionate about it. So it's like, I feel connected to it. Mm. Hmm. Talking about energy and magic and shit. So something I've been seeing a lot is how if our thoughts are energy, that means we're doing something quantumly, bro. In the quantum fields, bro, like photons are moving when I'm thinking and when I'm talking. These shits are doing something, bro. Going somewhere. This is all happening. We just don't see it happening, right? But it's there. We know that it is. So what does that mean? Something is happening and it's invisible to our eyes because it's microscopic. Synchronicities are very interesting because there's this book called Sorcery as a General Mechanic, and it talks about how synchronicities can occur when there's two opposing energies clashing and not canceling each other out but combining or combusting together and becoming one new thing, right? Or like dualities and paradoxes reconciling, and it comes out as a phenomena, as an energy escape, right? Here, look, let's test it out. Um, hmm, hmm. Okay, so the idea is that I need something to happen now. Okay, look, and now nothing's gonna happen. Well, the idea is that we need two opposing ideas to collide with each other, right? We need to tell the tension to build up so much that it collapses in on itself and it becomes a new force or new energy that's being sent, that's being pushed to do something, right? Because that's the whole idea of it. That's the whole idea of it. The intention and the stress, all of that shit that's happening inside of you, you're like vibrating out, right? Because our bodies are basically just vibration. Yeah, that's all our bodies are, you know. Down at the very core of it, we are what we're trying to affect. We are one with everything because even though we look different than everything around us, guess what? We're all the fucking same. We're just structured differently at the atomic level. Just different, just by variations. But we're all made of the same things, the same building blocks of the universe. We're all the same. And the only reason that we can't phase through walls is because we haven't been able to master how to make all of our atoms the same as other ones. Or is it the same, or we gotta fit through? We just gotta align so we fit through. Like imagine these are atoms, right? And they're floating like this. We gotta be able to change our molecular structure so we stay the same, but we're able to phase through. You got me like go like this, bro. But at least that's what I. Yes, 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 yes. Fuck, fucking freak ass nigga, 6'9" ass nigga. What were them saying? What was that nigga saying? That nigga's crazy. What the fuck was he rapping about? Damn, bro. I'm getting teased so hard by the fucking game, bro. Shit. Guess I'm just in that little part where I gotta grind. All right. Hmm. So what do I need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hmm. I'm trying to win this tournament, right? So I guess I should increase my damage. All damage right here. Let me check out the artifact one. Okay. I feel like that did a difference. I see that shit going up. All damage. Fuck it. Yeah, because if I only upgrade the other shits. What did we start talking about? We were like talking about death, right? And how it's symbolic. Death being symbolic. So it's really funny how okay, so very insightful, I guess. Not really, more like insightful towards me. The craze of death that we're seeing, that I'm seeing, I feel like has been becoming a very I want to say normal. Normal. What even is normal? I guess that speaks more of me, right? Because I'm calling that normal. Like if anything's normal, humans are the last normal thing on this fucking planet, bro. Let me tell you, we have the ability to create life, right? AI, and we waste it on very very tired some games. You feel me? Like we put all of this resource behind trying to make more money, and it's really silly because it's like, hey, if we were to, I don't know, focus more on, it's gonna sound selfish, but I was gonna say self-expression, right? And we use AI to help the individual become more themselves, themselves, just who they are, right? And how would you do that with AI? I guess you would, it would just be, I guess it would just be to automate things that are like, that are slow. Hmm. Nah, I don't know. I don't know what I was trying to get into right there with that one, but hmm. What were we talking about? The craze of death. Does that even make sense? Like people, the craze in death. Yes, yes, that does make sense. So I guess what I was trying to say with that is how death has become so normalized in our society that it's not shocking. It's like we're living in a time where there's wars going on, there's genocides happening, there's school shooting damn near every fucking week now, you know, like shit's happening for real everywhere. Wherever the fuck it's happening somewhere in the world. Somewhere in the world, somebody's getting raped right now. Someone in the world right now is getting killed right now. Someone in the world right now is, you know, doing the worst shit that you can imagine to a kid right now. You know, the world is filled with shit like that. It's always gonna be like that. At least that's the paradigm we live under because we're not able to talk about it without getting heated. You know, something I'm always seeing online is how everybody has such this deep connection to the idea that people like that deserve the worst punishment. And even though that they're not wrong, it's like, how are we going to move forward if people don't take the time to consider why they're doing it? And people do consider that. That's a big point of a lot of the people online, is that like at certain points there's certain crimes you can't really comprehend because it's so ingrained into our human nature that we understand the act itself is wrong, but we're still choosing to doing it. Like, how can you defend that? when the implication of the action is very much conscious and present, right? You don't rape someone on accident. You get me? You don't kill someone on accident. You know that shit that shit happens in the split second of you making the decision and your thoughts catching up to you. You know, and that's the lens where we need to like really look at it, because if we got to look at it like that, like, hey, all of this happened because he wanted it to happen. He's been thinking about murdering people. He's been thinking about doing this, doing that, or or something, right? Because people, what causes someone to kill somebody? What causes somebody to commit murder? It's a lot of things, right? It's a combination of a lot of things. Like, let's say it can be literally anything, bro. Like people nowadays kill over anything. You know, there's people getting mad at McDonald's. I bet you somebody's gonna get mad enough one day he's gonna start blowing at the employees, bro. And then what? That's like four people dead because this nigga didn't get his chicken nuggets. Like, bro, like people talk about death, bro. Death in our society is so normalized that somebody could probably kill someone outside right now, and I'm not going out there to check because what the fuck? What for? What for? You know, what's the point of acting like I care? You know, I do care. I should care, but I don't care. And it's not like this stupid thing that it's not. 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 Loading. I was going to say it's not. I'm not gonna say it because that shit sounds gay as fuck. It's not. It's not anything bad either. It's just shit sounds so fucking cringe. I'm not gonna say that shit out loud. God damn it! I fucking. Fuck, man. But then, okay, but then, how does somebody fix? Like, it's just going to, like, no, it's going to take time, and even then, this can an aspect like this can okay, is peace achievable in the world today? No, because the paradigm that we're all living under is very the world is very dualistic. The world is paradoxical. The world is good and evil. The world is evil because there's good. The world is good because there's evil. You know, as long as we keep believing that good and bad are separate, we're not going to be able to actually, what am I trying to say? Like, actually, damn, that nigga's catching up. I need to hurry the fuck up. We need, god damn it, I'm getting confused. No, I don't want that for real. All right, so let me think. What the fuck were we talking about? The paradigm they were living under, something like that. So is the world okay? Peace right now in the world? I don't think that's a possibility. Not today. But it could be a possibility tomorrow. But I'm saying that, and that's me being affected under the paradigm. You get me? So it's like we need to shift our minds from it not being possible to it being possible. just the idea of it existing. Peace can exist in the world. It's just that we decide not to see peace. We decide not to be in peace when we stop to observe the world, because the world, it's like how I was saying, like we are very dualistic, right? Pedophilia, very bad. Saving children, very good. It's like you you obviously see it because you have morals, right? You understand, as a human being, right? We understand that rape is bad. We all know that. We all know that. There's no justification for rape because it's very present. It's like I was saying earlier. You can't just rape someone on accident. You feel me? So it's like, hey, I want to say we need to study these niggas, bro, to see what leads to that. What leads to it? Maybe they themselves were raped when they were younger, or I don't fucking know. I don't know. Shit. Nah, I honestly don't know what can it be. Hmm. But moving away from the problems, right, into solutions and prevention. Maybe the better way to tackle a situation like this isn't necessarily to stop them, but it's to prevent it, right? Just giving out more opportunities for mental health. Being able to be more, as a kid, I guess, just under how do we, I guess, just making that shift, right? Making that paradigm shift that it's okay to be honest. It's okay to be honest with yourself. And hmm, can I think about it like this, right? What I believe is that everybody is the same person, okay? Being expressed, just being individualized, right? Because a part of that same person is your environment, your, just external sources. So, in the end of the day, we're all the same person with different experiences that differentiate us. And that's why we become so different, right? I think we're all born the same, whether that be like with certain morals or with certain with a certain nature, and our nature changes due to our experience of the world. But what I'm trying to say is that if we're all the same person, then everything that we're doing, everything that's happening, all the people that are doing bad, all the people that are doing good, that's us trying to that's because how do we oh, man, how do I say this? Because like the only world you experience is the world you experience, right? So if you're not the this is gonna sound so stupid, but if you're not the one being raped, if you're not the one being sexually assaulted, then how do you know this shit is actually going on, right? And you know it's going on because of the effects that it's happening. That's on the effects and the outcomes and on the consequences that's happening, right? So, man, where the fuck was I going with this? I'm like spacing the fuck out. All right, so I have no idea. You don't experience that. But if we're all the same person trying, if we're all the same person, then that means we're all capable of doing anything, right? And if you really if you really start to think about what human nature actually is, if you actually, if you take the time to pay attention to your own thoughts, sometimes, they can be very, very, very cruel. And I'm being very honest. They can be very, very fucking blunt. Some of the time, I feel like I'm going to kill someone, and it's not funny because that's how it leads to it. You feel me? That's how, like, if you pay attention to a lot of these. Oh, we were talking about David, right? Dave. Like, if you pay attention to a lot of the shit he was saying early on, like, it's like he romanticized it. He fell in love with the idea of it, right? Of doing something like that. At least that's what I'm believing, right? Because he even though it might have been it must have been a combination of things, cuz or else he wouldn't have done it, right? Cuz this nigga was fucking a fucking 13-year-old, right? Like that. Okay, weird as fuck, nigga. Like nigga 20, 22, 21. Doesn't matter. You're an adult, right? You know that shit's not right. You understand what you're doing. Sorry. Shit. All right, I don't know what to do next. I'm like stuck. I'm not stuck. I keep on going up, but I'm going up kind of slow. There has to be a better way. I need to get more. I need to get certain artifacts, and artifacts are like really OP items, but they're kind of expensive. 8 billion for one of them, and there's this one I really need, but it's like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven away, and this shit goes up a lot. Like the last one before this one was 2 billion, and this one jumped to 8 billion. I need to make a lot more. I need to push really hard on this one. Is what I need to do. Yeah, give me this shit. All right. The warning signs are always there. Is what I'm trying to say. You feel me? Like, hey, take the time to work. Take the time to work on yourself, but also don't be fooled by the thought itself, because it's very important. Fuck. It's very important to remember that even though we are the ones thinking the thought, we're not actually the ones thinking the thought. We're observing the thought. That's a better way of putting it, right? Because thoughts are these ideas, dude. They're really just like it's just energy, and you just happen to pick it up. You're like a fucking cell phone tower receiving signals back and forth. Like, it's not any different. We're basically the same thing. Like, if you take time to look at the things that are around us, you'll see how everything mimics us. Everything in this world that has been created by us is an expression of ourselves. Literally, 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 like everything that we see, an expression of ourselves, 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 an expression of ourselves. Like, you get, like what I'm trying to say is, just because we just because we are able to observe our thoughts doesn't mean that the thoughts are us. It's whatever we put energy towards. So whatever you put your attention towards is what you're going to become. So let's say you're putting all of your attention on the fact that you're not working out. nigga, you're going to keep not working out. You get me what I'm saying? Like if you're putting your energy into not working out, stressing about not working out, you're not going to work out. If you instead of worrying about not working out, you say you focus on working out. I'm working out. I'm working out. Say that I'm working out. Don't say tomorrow, just say I'm working out. Is it a fucking lie? Sure. Maybe at first it is, right? But you gotta remember that thing we were saying earlier about how you program yourself, and your thoughts are an expression, your thoughts that you put your attention to. So so concentrated thought, concentrated thought becomes manifested over time because you're putting energy behind it, and you subconsciously start to build a connection towards it neurally in your brain, emotionally too, and it becomes and you become more true to that expression, and you choose to express it more freely. You get me? And it becomes and that's like it's like flow because you're able to do it. You're able to think about it, concentrate on it, put energy behind it, put emotion behind it. And if you just let it be and let it grow, just thinking about it occasionally, you know, like maybe at the start, if you need to think about it, like let's say you take like 5 minutes out of your day to meditate and to put energy behind it. And then you do it again tomorrow and you do it again for 7 straight days. And then if you was forced, then you do it once every 3 days and then so forth and so forth. Like it'll start like just because you're not doing it like you used to doesn't mean that you're doing bad. Doesn't mean that it's not gonna come true. It doesn't even mean that it's gonna come true. But it's just like if you're putting the energy behind it, the energy is scaling up, right? So the thought of the action happening is here, and the actual action is here. The only way the action goes up is when you start feeling the disturbance or the restlessness, and that's when the action goes up, and that's when they both collide, right? So think about it like this: they're growing, then the other one has to grow, then they collide, and it turns into the expression being done. That's how I think about it. Everything that's how I've been going about my life recently. Going through it, like just experiencing it, experiencing life, living through it, even if it's a little hard at the moment, and just being able to push through. Not because you have to, or not because it's for survival. It's just because, like, I mean, I guess it is for survival for in some instances, right? Because it would be very in my favor to not stress about anything, right? Like, people think that hey, he's not stressing. He must be fucking ignorant. He must be a stupid bitch that doesn't understand. He must be. He must be. He must be not doing his fucking job. This nigga must not be doing shit. Like, hey, that might be true. But what if relaxing is actually the answer for this situation, right? What if instead of stressing, you take the time to come back to your center so you can think, so you can be more under some be more present towards whatever you got to do. No, that's not a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. On very honestly, being patient with yourself, understanding that you need time too, right? You're like a plant, bro. You got to let yourself grow. You need to let yourself be neutralized. You need to come to equilibrium, bro. And this is a constant thing. We're always evolving, we're always growing. There's always going to be discomfort in our life, and when there's discomfort in your life, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing something wrong. It just means that the way you're living doesn't catch up to what you believe you can be doing. And then when you start believing you can do more, eventually you're gonna keep getting fucking sick and tired of just being in the same spot, and eventually all of that energy is going to just collide one day, and you're going to notice that you're doing things without even having to tell yourself or like hype yourself up or do any of that shit, because you're going to be able to do it pretty much just, I was going to say automatically, but it's honestly just like you're able to do it more consciously, less consciously, more subconsciously, and it becomes more like a workflow. So in reality, all we're doing is just being open to the idea of it being true, of the possibility of, hey, I can start a business. Hey, I have the capabilities to and the knowledge to get myself of any out of any situation if I so want to. Being open to that, right? Being open to that paradigm that, hey, I understand what I have to do to grow, and I do it. Every day I'm present for it. Doing that paradigm shift is very important because it reminds you that, hey, the problems that we think we're having, sure, they might be problems, but it's just a gap of where we want to be, you know. So what do we do to fill in that gap? Well, you just let it ride out. No, it sounds stupid, it sounds counterproductive, but think about it. If you keep on putting energy towards doing it, then okay, look, the reason I think it works like this is because of how I've been experiencing my life for the greater part of the last year, right? Or started the year, where I've been very heavily deep into practicing my beliefs, right? And this notion of flow, of like the flow of creation, of being able to be aware of your thoughts, being able to be present for your thoughts, being able to be patient with yourself, and being able to understand that if I'm going through something, other people might be going through something. Understanding that we're all human beings, we're all able to be a little bit of compassionate with each other if we can be. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it feels awkward, but we gotta go through that too. You gotta feel all that shit. But think about creation being like this, right? You think about it, you're creating it in your head, and you follow through that. Yeah, sometimes you're going to lose that. Sometimes you're going to have to live. Oh, right. So if you keep on putting energy towards doing something, right? That energy is always going to be kept in doing something, in the idea of doing something. The actual expression will come out naturally when the energy overflows, right? So the energy is up here, and the action energy is right here. So you have what I want to call is the feminine energy, which is the creation of the thought or the creativity, right? The creativity is right here and it's skyrocketing. Okay, now you need to put the other energy. Let's say this is masculine energy and this is action energy. So you need to make this energy go up here. But how do you make this energy go up, right? Because this creative energy, I want to say, is a little different because it takes a lot more creative energy to create friction for action to take place, right? So the best way is to actually keep overfeeding it until it collides, right? Because two things are going to happen. There's countless possibilities of what could happen, right? But it all depends on how you want to do it or on how you want to interpret it. God, I am not growing at all, bro. What the fuck? Because not every not everything is dead stone written, right? Like, especially with human beings, like, if you want if you know, like, if I'm saying this right, and if you utilize this, you got to understand that everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when that energy collides, you get to choose what to do with that energy, right? So when you're feeling restless and you want to do something and you had that idea, it's like you can choose. This is new energy. This is why you're frustrated. This is where it's going to. This is what it's becoming. You can either utilize that energy and put it into where you want it to go, or you can keep storing it and you'll keep on getting more and more restless, more and more and more. And eventually, you have to do something with it. You can't just sit with that, you know? That's what causes that. Then that's what causes stress. That's what causes fucking hell. That's what causes stress. That's what causes, loops of bad thinking that affects your future life, like, you got to be real smart with how you're doing this shit, because you just got to think about it. Honestly, is what you got to do. Like, you got to think about it like a fucking game. Whatever you think now, do now, affects you in the future. It affects you tomorrow. It affects you 10 days from now. It affects you a year from now. Even if you don't think it does, it probably will. So every day is an opportunity to do something that's going to lead you to where you want to be. Even if it's just a little small thing, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, like 1 minute. And you just keep going. You just keep going. Like, it adds up, even if you don't think it does, like it does. I said I need a push, but how the fuck do I push? Hmm. All right. Shit. Fuck, man. I keep going up very slowly. I went up to 7,508. The only reason I'm grinding this shit out right now is because there's a fucking tournament, and this nigga was pretty close at beating me, so I had to, you know, there's only like 4 hours left anyway, so. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to level this shit up as much as I can, and this is the prestiging system in the game. So I prestige, I get these tokens, and I use these to get these items that help me like scale up to the levels and shit. I'm trying to get this one right here. Portal chances just like help you speed up the game. because when you kill one, it gives you plus 50, and you skip 50 stages. So it goes pretty fast. You see, like right there, I skipped 32. That one helps you. That one gives you the chance of the dude spawning more often, and he spawns a lot more often. Let me fucking tell you, like that's probably why this one is so fucking like. Oh my god, it's just gonna be expensive as fuck. All of these are gonna be expensive as fuck. God damn it. But that's why I gotta make a lot of these shits, and that's why I need to upgrade this one a lot, because this one increases the relics earned when you prestige. So I have it set to 100 times right now. That's the ones I've been invested in. Whew, damn, it's early as fuck, right? It's like 9:23. But yeah, I don't every okay. So it's really fun. I just really like talking about it, right? The idea that that how everything that we see right now in the world is a result of all our thinking. And it's really weird because hypothetically, right? Let's say you separate someone and tell him he has human. Let's say you separate a baby, or you have a baby, and you put him away, you lock him away, and you tell him he has superpowers. You tell him he trains every fucking day, and he starts to fuck, and he starts to develop like actual superhuman strength because he just has the thought and he has the environment of it, right? So let's say you make like, I don't know. That seems more like a fucking crazy science experiment than anything. But would he like develop the neural pathways in his brain to give him the strength he needs to do the things that he's being told he can do? Like over time he's gonna develop that. Can he? Is that a possibility? Can anybody do that? You know, we say humans adapt pretty well to their environment. Let's say you create an environment where you need superhuman strength. Do you think somebody would be able to develop it? Right? Like knowing the process that we were talking about earlier about changing your situation and environment. If you think about regenerating your cells so you never become fatigued or old, like let's say you concentrate on it for 5 minutes today and you do it again tomorrow, what effect of that concentrated thought will have in your future life? Okay, well we can hypothetically we can do the experiment of that, right? Let's say we do that for a year. I Where I give 5 minutes of just consistent thought to the idea of never aging, or not never aging, no, the idea of staying young, right? And through that, you go through it in your head, and you try to imagine how it would work, right? Because maybe the only way to actually make things like that happen is to step out of the variable of what's possible and what is impossible, right? Because in order for something, if something is impossible to do, we need to strive to do it, right? Why is that? Why should we strive to do the impossible? Because not because it's a paradox, but because theoretically, how I've been saying everything, it should work, right? Eventually the energy of the action is going to be up here. Well, the energy of the thought in action is going to be up here, and then the actual action is going to come and it's going to collide, and it'll be new energy. And that new energy will either be new self-expression, a new expression, or a new law that's being learned, right? Because think about it, like we're at a point with science where things are very very crazy, right? Like there's a lot of open interpretation to what quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and string theory and all of this shit have on the can affect. So at this point, it's less about discovering the world and more discovering ourselves. You know, and isn't that what science truly is? It's just the expression, well, not the expression. It's just a better understanding of reality. And how do we better understand reality than better understanding ourselves? So I say we take the mechanics and the things that we know and we apply it into the things that we can do, right? So again, that I'll do this. I'll start doing it today. I'll make it my little morning ritual every morning to just sit for 5 minutes and concentrate about never aging, staying young. And the way I'm going to think about it is my cells regenerating, fully regenerating. I heard something about our cells regenerating, but let's say it's like this, right? Let's say it regenerates and it comes out like this. And over time it keeps doing that. And eventually the cell keeps regenerating, but it doesn't have anything else to regenerate off of. What if I just tell my body or believe in my mind that I'm able to shift from it losing energy to it always replicating itself fully? I don't know how that would work. I'm learning more about like cells and shit to get a better understanding, to lead my mind into a better pathway for it to happen naturally. But yes, all of it very obviously this is all very theoretical, right? Like very open for interpretation, but I say it's worth a try. So why not? Because we know what the results are from constantly thinking, from like putting attention to where some putting attention, putting concentrated thought is and it becomes that concentrated energy. So yeah, it would just be very interesting. But yes, it's very I was gonna say like, it's spiritual science. It's what it fucking is, right? That's the name for it. It's spiritual science. It's nothing else. Hmm. Again, because if we can astral project, right? That's people have been experimenting with that. The CIA has been we're experimenting with that. Like like the gateway tapes are a real thing that people can load up on YouTube and experiment with and understand. Because the only way people understand what I'm talking about is if they've experienced being out of their bodies and experiencing themselves being their consciousness and not their bodies. Like our bodies are probably the greatest illusion of the world because we believe we are our bodies. Our bodies are a part of us, but ourselves, our true selves, is unattainable, unimaginable, unscalable because it's infinite. It's one with everything, and it's one with all of things. And it becomes very cliche because people talk about it like this all the time. People say shit like this. I'm not saying anything new. You know, it might be new to whoever's hearing this. It might be new to whoever is listening, right? And you might be wondering like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Like, if the things that I'm saying don't make any sense, you probably you probably are right. They probably don't make sense, and they wouldn't make sense to you because if you haven't been able to experience yourself being outside of yourself, knowing that you're not just your body, then you wouldn't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. Damn, that was weird. How did that shit just start happening? But yeah, that's a very fun experiment, isn't it? The idea of like it's like the same thing with telekinesis that I've been seeing some a lot of people on the internet kind of be more interested in the phenomena of being able to move things with your mind, right? Like it's very interesting because there have been reports of people who are able to do that, right? People that like move things with their hands for at a distance when the object they're moving is inside a jar that's been sealed, tightly sealed, like shit like that. Hmm. Okay, we're almost at our max. I need to see how many. Am I actually recording? Just saying. We're almost there, guys. Like this, for example, like what I'm doing right now, like live streaming. Like I just been thinking about doing this shit, bro. I haven't even, that tension build up, and eventually it just happened where it was natural. You know, it felt like the right thing to do at the moment because I didn't want to just fucking spend fucking time just playing this game, and I wanted to reflect, I wanted to think, I wanted to be able to like talk back to myself. Oh, nice. That's probably what I was missing. All right, I'm just gonna have to these next few prestiges that I'm doing. It's just all gonna go into the fucking relic shit. Damn, I can't get past this nigga. Feel like I've been on him for a while. Damn, I'm still on this nigga, bro. He's doing 10% of damage. As he's still doing the most. Okay. That's the only bad side about cheating, like with the fucking auto clickers. That bro, this shit goes crazy sometimes. Cause I just be accidentally forgetting to unpress the button. Okay, I almost have everything. That's pretty cool. Scrolls, I almost have everything too. Not making no type of cash. Shit, give me all. Give me all. Yes. Alright, guys, we're gonna watch a fucking ad, unfortunately. No, we're not. Come with you guys. God damn it. Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to fuck. That's what I get for being a dumb bitch, bro. Very honestly. Very honestly. Fucking hell, bro. Now I gotta fucking wait until that shit comes back up. And I'm not even close to the fucking. Oh, I am. 508. 748. Hmm. Alright, let's see. Okay, I have 18. Maybe I can boost something. Hmm. Can I use this here? Would this help? Your bond with your shadow clone have been strengthened, increase its damage and special effectiveness. Increase the number of special attempts per second. Well, what does that mean? Increasing the rate of your mana, siphon, lightning strike, and nightmare damage. You have the trigger nightmare damage of each shadow clone special attempt. Nightmare damage has a 1% chance to skip stages when defeating a boss titan. When defeating a boss titan, okay. What about this? Your shadow clone awakens from the dark. Let shadow clone defeat multiple normal. When defeating a boss, has a chance to skip stages. What does that mean? A chance? Oh, it says right there. Okay, but what do I need skip or do I need damage? What am I relying on right now? On the siphon? You have to activate siphon with each sword master attack or shadow clone special attempt. When mana siphon is active, your mana is restored by a specific amount. You have a 2% chance to activate lightning strike with each sword master. Okay. Deals damage equivalent to a percent. Okay. Multiple lightning strike. Okay. No, that's like a thing. Shadow clone. Increases the maximum number of shadow clone multicast. Multicasting increases damage dealt by your shadow clone for a massive increased mana cost. Okay. When shadow clone has a chance to skip stages. Okay. Damn, I mean that one seems kind of interesting, but no. Wait, fairies. Hmm. I'm becoming really reliant on the fucking. Maybe. Wait, maybe that's a good idea. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just try it. So I'll try something else. 5.6, 5.4. I'm fucking stupid. So I guess right now I have like a hybrid build, right? I wonder. Here, let's try something. Okay. Let's just see if this plan works. Hmm. No, I don't think so. I don't think that did anything. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Actually, no, I'm gonna stop the stream, guys. Goodbye.